Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Facebook, YouTube, welcome. How you doing? I'm already live with Instagram right now. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If we do not know one another, my name is Demita McGee. I am a Christian women's business coach, y'all, and I absolutely love what I do. And listen, let me see if I can find this button really quick. I need a producer. I'm just saying for my show. I'm clicking too many buttons and trying to be super fabulous at the same time. It's too much. If you are watching me on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button that you see right there. Listen, why? Because the mission of these videos, the mission of this channel is to help aspiring and existing entrepreneurs align their businesses with biblical principles and to go out there and kill it. Okay. And if you would love to help that mission, like, subscribe, share. That's it. What's up, Sibley Life and Love on Instagram? I see you. All right, so let's dig into today. The purpose of today's video, I want to share something with you guys. And I was talking to one of my clients who's also a friend, and I was trying to decide if I really wanted to share this because I thought about it, but it might help someone. And I'm all about transparency and being authentic, especially if it can help somebody in the process. So I'm gonna go ahead and share. So I was listening to a podcast that I absolutely love. One of my coaches has this podcast, and I went way back I'm listening to her entire podcast. We're talking over 150 episodes. So I was on episode 3 today. And one of the things she talked about was her defining moment. And in that defining moment, that was when she literally drew a line in the sand and decided, I'm going to get this business up and running and I'm going to kill it. And now she is actually an 8-figure, operates an 8-figure coaching business. And so my defining moment, now this is a really hard thing for me to share, so y'all bear with me. I'm gonna do my best not to get emotional and all the things. And I honestly was embarrassed to share this. So I wasn't going to, but like I said, I think it might help somebody. So for those of you, most of you guys are aware that in January, I took my husband to the emergency room. And during that emergency room visit, we had just traveled back home from an event where I got an opportunity to be an MC. And it was the most amazing weekend. Our 15-year-old son was there, with us. And when we got back home, he had some symptoms that I didn't quite like, that he did not understand that he was having. I saw him from the outside. He felt something, but he didn't see what I saw. What I saw was concerning. So for those of you out there, you see your spouse, you see something, they're not listening to you. Sometimes you just got to take matters into your own hands. And that's what I did. So I drove him. We literally had just driven back from Little Rock, Arkansas. It was 10 o'clock at night. We were still on the road. We had not even made it to my parents' house to pick up the youngest 2 kids. We were headed that way. And before we got there, I went straight to the ER and I took him to the urgent aid. And I was like, listen, you're going to go in here and you're going to let them check you out because something's off. And I know it's off. Now, half of that ride home, he did not know that I was going to take him to the emergency room. I knew it 6 hours before we had made it back to Illinois. I knew that we were going to the emergency room. And so dropped him off. I could not go in with him because you guys know we are still in a COVID-like world at the time of this recording. And so me and my oldest son, 15-year-old, we went ahead and went to my parents' house. And when we got there, of course, the babies were happy to see us. My parents like, where's Wayne? Well, I just took him to the ER so he can kind of get himself checked out. Fast forward, we found out within the next couple of weeks that he got diagnosed with cancer. So this is the thing that's very interesting about that story. My defining moment happened at that moment. When you first hear those words, they are super scary. Do they have to be? Not necessarily, but they are, or at least they were for me. And in that moment, I wasn't full of faith. In that moment, I was really full of fear in those moments. And what ended up happening was I realized I felt like I was going to lose my husband. And at the time, we had not even celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary. And I felt like not only am I going to lose my husband, but I'm not even in a position to take care of my children if he's gone. I'm not in a position to take care of myself if he's gone. And I hate having felt that way, I hate having worried about finances in the midst of a health situation, crisis, whatever you want to call it. But that's what I felt. In that moment, I felt like, what happens? Like, what do I do now? I don't know what steps to take, right? I'm trying to not be too emotional. And so I decided over the course of that time, okay, you got to buckle down and you got to make business work for real. Like, up until that point, y'all, I always felt like I didn't have to go hard or full throttle because I had a safety net. And that safety net is my husband goes to work every single day. I had that safety net. And it was kind of like, okay, if we don't have an abundance, it's okay. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? I need to make business work, and I need it to work way better than it's ever worked before. Then I was even more motivated because the reality is, y'all, I really want to get my husband out of his job. I want to get him out so he can rest the way he needs to rest, so he can focus on his health, all those things. So I was more motivated than I have ever been before. So my defining moment in business, before I had the best month I have ever had in business, was because I knew that if I had lost my husband up until any point up until now, I was not prepared financially to take care of my children or to even take care of myself. And that is a shitty situation to be in. Absolutely shitty. And so what ended up happening was, I've worked with coaches in the past, but this time I decided to work with a different coach. Okay. I focused on one coach just for business. So one coach I worked with helped me with one aspect. Then I started working with another coach. This coach did not come cheap. This is the one that I told you I'm listening to our podcast from the beginning, and it was not cheap at all. About 6 weeks ago, that coach cost $3,000 for me to start working with her. It was actually $3,200 to be exact. But within a month of working with her, I sold $10,000 worth of one of my signature programs. Was it worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. And so what is your defining moment? Maybe you're like me. Maybe you haven't really had that moment that makes you stop and think, listen, I got to figure this shit out, and I got to figure this shit out right now. Like, there is no more waiting. That those days are over. Maybe you haven't had that moment, or maybe you have, right? I had not had it up until this year where it was like, you got to figure this out now. There is absolutely no more waiting. And what I found out was earning $10,000 in 1 month wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. That's what I found out. It wasn't hard. So as I'm talking to my client / friend, I'm telling her, I'm like, you know what? It wasn't hard. It was actually easy. Like, when I look back on what I did over that 4-week time period to make that happen, when I look at those things, it wasn't hard. It was actually easy. And now, without a shadow of a doubt, I know that it can be done. Like, I know with absolute certainty that it can be done, but more importantly, I know that I can do it. So many times I looked at, coaches who be like, oh, let's have 5-figure months, let's have the 6-figure year. And I'd be thinking, where? Now I know not only can it be done, but now I know that Demita, I can do it. And that's what's important. So what was the one thing that was missing from the equation all this time? Because believe it or not, I had the tools. All this time I had the tools. All this time I did have the know-how. What didn't I have? I was doing the wrong shit at the wrong time. Because this is what happens with a lot of us. A lot of us are doing the things, but we're doing the wrong things. And we're slowing our own business down, and we're slowing ourselves down. And so we're doing things to look like we're killing it, but we're not. And because you're so busy focused on looking like you're killing it, you're doing those things instead of the things that you should be doing that will help you really kill it. So we're doing the wrong things when we shouldn't be, or we're doing the right things at the wrong time. The one piece of the equation that was missing for me, the very piece that was missing was the confidence in myself to know that I could do the thing that I set out to do. Once I had the confidence, it was game over. It was done. So you guys, this is so important. Over the course of the last 12 hours, literally, I met a woman, and just like that, she got started with one of my programs. My signature course, I met two women who I did not know before. I didn't know. And together, we just met. And they spent $4,000 on programs. And so my question for you is, why? It's because I knew with absolute certainty that I could help them do what it is that they wanted to do. So I know that when you spend time with me, I can help you get that business out. That's what I do. That's who I am. You come to me with ideas. You come to me hazy. You come to me with no clarity. You come to me like, I don't know if this can be. And in a matter of a short period of time, you leave my presence knowing exactly what your business model should be. That is what I was created to do. And that is what I do. And now I have the confidence to know that when a person walks away from having an encounter with me, that they will be more profitable as a result. So my question for you is, when someone walks away from your presence, when they spend time with you, what can you say with absolute certainty they will have? What value can you give them? See, when you understand that, my friend, is where your confidence comes from. So my defining moment, my husband getting diagnosed with cancer, led me to get serious about my business. What is your defining moment? Have you had one yet? And if you haven't, when you do, it will shift everything. Everything. So that defining moment made me get serious. What I learned in getting serious was it was time for me to put money someplace so I could know where to focus. When I figured that out, earning 5 figures in a 30-day time period became easy. It was easier than I realized. I heard my coach's coach, who she introduced us to, saying making a lot of money is a lot easier than making a little money. And I thought, how is that even possible? And now I get it. Now I get it. Okay. So listen, I'm going to wrap this up because I do have a one-on-one appointment coming up here soon. I'm going to wrap this up with this. If you need help, reach out. Okay. You can do that one of a couple of ways. One, we have the Start Your Business Bootcamp. Now, the Start Your Business Bootcamp is going to show you exactly how to take all these ideas that you have, because I know you are multi-talented. I know you're multi-skilled. I know you have all these credentials, but I know the one thing that you're struggling with is figuring out what idea to take and create a business with. That is what the Start Your Business Bootcamp is going to help you do. Narrow that down and refine it so you can actually start a real business. That's what the bootcamp is for. All right. That's what it's going to help you do. Now, that's one. I'm going to show you how to find your God-given competitive advantage, how to actually find it, maneuver it out of there, and profit using that skill set, because it's yours. No one can take it from you. You already have it. I'm going to show you how to do that. I think my lawn care team is here. Yeah, they are. That's it's right outside. I'm going to show you how to do that. I was profitable in my first 90 days in business, and that was having no idea what the hell I was doing. Imagine how much better it could have been had I actually understood how to operate a business. I didn't know how to do that before. I didn't know what I was doing. A coach helps you collapse time frames. Let me help you and collapse your time frame. Now, remember I said I started working with a coach. I spent $3,200, but in the next 4 weeks, I earned $10,000. Is $127. Is it worth you being able to move forward and earn $10,000 your first year in business? And I only use a number like 10,000. It's a very small number because my first year in business, having no idea what I was doing, that's what I earned in year one. But with that 10,000, would I pay 127? Absolutely, I would. And you can do even better and earn more. So the Start Your Business Bootcamp kicks off next week on Monday. We have a kickoff party on Sunday. So you want to get enrolled before then. All right. There is a link that I'll make sure is in the description of this video if you're watching Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are watching on Instagram, the link is in my bio for a very brief 2-minute video that gives you a few more details, and you can enroll by clicking a link that's attached to that video. And if you are a person who already has a business, but you're really looking for clarity, you need to just work out a kink or two, then just book a strategy session with me. You can do that. And the reason to book that strategy session is because we focus 100% on you and what you need. If you're watching on Facebook, again, or YouTube, use that link that I just popped up on the screen. Okay. I will, put it in the comments here on Instagram. There you go. So when you do that, we can focus exclusively on what you need for your business. I'm only taking 5 strategy sessions a week because I can only do so much in a week, y'all. So I'm only doing 5 strategy sessions in a week. That is it. That is all. When those 5 are gone, they're gone. All right. Because I'm working on the boot camp, and I also have this amazing program that begins a week after the boot camp. And I already got one-on-one clients, so I can only do so much. So I'm only doing 5 sessions. So if you want one, don't sleep on yourself. Get one. All right, IG, that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. I will see you next time. Bye. All right. For you guys that are on Insta, or for you guys that are on Facebook and also on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have a question about anything I've shared, simply send me a message. You don't, sorry for all the noise there doing the line. You don't have to send it publicly in the comments here. Just send me a DM. I am very responsive to messages. I've been answering messages all morning for people reaching out to me to find out more about the boot camp, and I will respond to you too. Okay. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I appreciate it. Remember, again, subscribe. I appreciate you. I love you. If we are not connected, make sure you are connected to me on Instagram as well. That is it for the day. I will see you next time. Peace out, people. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.